I can't wait to get there. I slept in the gym already. I slept in there. I'm ready.
Dang.
I'm ready.
So was you just like, what you mean you slept in the gym? You just was like, you know what?
I went down there one of the weekends, and I'm supposed to be there for 2 days, but I just got caught up in the gym so much and just so like, it's unbelievable how I even got here. I look in there, I see a lot of people don't even like, cherish where they at. And I ain't just talking about Wichita, I'm just talking about like D1 in general.
Yeah.
Where people just like got this, this ego or whatever. But me, I'm like, man, I would never take this for granted. For all the times I wish I had this. So I'm in there just constantly working out. I was working out all day. I'm just like, bro, I'm not leaving. Like, I just went in the locker room and went to sleep.
Wow.
Went to sleep for like 4 hours, woke up, shot in the middle of the night, turned the lights on and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I figured all that out that same night.
You know what that is? One word. One word that I would summarize that as: gratitude. Gratitude. My guy, Dre Kindell, is in the building, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man, for even doing this. Somebody who I've seen your journey since you were young, man. We used to have these runs and stuff, seeing you hoop. And it was one of those things where you see young kids all the time, man. Right? You see young kids all the time that's like, oh, man, that kid, he's going to be good. And then you look up sometimes and you're like, yeah, they was good. But you're one of those people who I remember seeing early and being like, man, that kid is going to be special. And it actually turned out to be true, right? Yes, but it's the journey, though, the journey, right? And that's what this 3D series is all about, is about the journey, right? It's about digging a little bit deeper to find those nuggets or that one thing that really helped you along the way, right? And I know you've come a long way, man.
For sure.
We were talking about it off the camera, right? But you said Princeton.
Yep.
Then
Reading,
then Gamble,
then back to Reading.
Okay.
And then after Reading, I went to Don. Then I went to Elite Academy.
Yeah.
That was how high school was.
Wow, man. And then you went to Barton, right? And so, see, that's so many pit stops, right? So many places that you've been. Like, that's a journey like no other, man.
Not for sure.
You know what I mean? Like
it's crazy.
That's a journey like no other. But that's the type of journey that'll make you who you are, though.
Right.
That's the type of journey, though, man, that'll make somebody hungry. But it's also a type of journey that could possibly make somebody start to doubt. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Right? Let's start with talking about that, man. Like, what were the moments that you may have been like, oh no, man, maybe this ain't, like, if you even had those moments, but
I don't think I did. Yeah, I believed in it always.
Yeah.
Because I feel like every move that I made was just to be, I guess just to put myself in a better situation. So that's like why I went to so many high schools. And then a part of it was like, my mom and dad not being together. So going back and forth with those two households. So that's really why I was transferring mostly, though. But just trying to find the best spot, that's really what it was, though.
Okay, see, that's the type of stuff, like I said, people don't know about somebody's personal journey, right? People always have their perception of things, but they don't really know the true story, but that's, and people will be, and that's the thing, people will be judgmental on your story,
right?
But they don't know the full story from all sides.
Right, exactly.
Three-dimensional. They know one-dimensional of what's going on, and they try to judge you off of that,
Because it might look like I'm just, transferring so much and, trying to just play and find the best. No, that's not really what it was.
See, did you take a year off? Okay, see, I thought I saw that. So in that year off specifically, what was the thought process?
Grind, really. I mean, so every day, like, I got a job at Planet Fitness purposely just to make sure I was lifting all the time.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, just get a job here, keep lifting. I'm working out every day. So I would work at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., get off at like 1 p.m., go straight to the court, go back to, you know what I'm saying, just like staying in the gym and everything like that. But really during that whole time, I'm just like, I'm going to get my chance. So I just got to be ready for whenever it comes. That's really what my main thing was.
And that's the thing. Live ready. live ready. The reason why I say that is because just like what you just said, man, I think a lot of athletes, they don't live ready. So they have to try to get ready when the time comes. You see what I'm saying? They got to try to, like, if you live in such a way where there's a constant state of readiness for your moment. Right. And because it's so easy, Dre, to start to doubt when it's not right in front of you. And you have to have a certain level of faith to keep working out, right, to keep lifting. For sure. And some people might be looking at you like, you working hard, brother, but I don't see it. We don't see it. Like, you took the year off and you working at Planet Fitness and it's like, man, what? But living in a constant state of readiness, man. And if you wouldn't have done that though, right? You know what I mean?
No, who knows? You know,
like, because I mean, the worst thing is it's not to not get the opportunity. The worst thing is to get the opportunity and not be ready for it. Right. You know, that's the worst thing. And so that's just a testament to the faith in, like you said, man, you never doubt it, right? You always believe that it could happen, but that's the key, man. That's where a lot of people fall off in. All right, now, Ghost. Tell me about Ghost, man. Tell me about Ghost. I seen that. I'm like, okay, what's that?
I mean, really, it was just something I came up with. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was pretty cool, but my dad actually came up with a cool concept of what it means. Okay. It's basically like, whenever somebody guarded me, just so quick, they can see me, I'm going like a ghost. Yeah. I mean,
now, when I watched you, man, I watched them clips, man, my legs started hurting. just watching you, man, because I think somebody called you a blur. Was that your coach? At Wichita? That's what I thought. Yeah, I read so. That he said that in an article or something. And that is nothing but the truth, man. Nothing but the truth. Because I'm looking myself and I'm like, bro, like, so I'm about to show, I actually pulled some clips up, Dre. I pulled some stuff up from your,
This the freshman year.
This the freshman year?
Yeah, this the freshman year.
So this other year then?
Oh, yeah.
Is this the second year?
Yep, this is the second
Okay.
year.
Then I was watching this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I didn't know, right? Here's what I didn't know. I'm gonna tell you what I didn't know. Right? That's what I didn't know. I didn't know, man. I didn't know. Man, when I saw that, man, when I told you I'm like, I start second guessing myself. I'm like, man, Dre, we're about the same height, man. And I'm like, he out here doing this, but like this. So, so this one, we got to go back on this one. This is the one where I turned it off. Cause I was like, hey man, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. I got to get back in the gym or something. Because I'm like, oh, this dude, man, is that something? So, you know, and we're gonna watch a couple more clips, man, because when you did the back scratch, dunk, hang on the rim, I'm like, time out, man. So is that something that you've had? Like, is that like?
Well, I guess like more so it's just natural, just from playing outside when I was younger, jumping around. I feel like that's where most of it came from. But working on it a little bit here and there is just what made it more explosive, though. Okay. You know, instead of just more raw. Right. Now it's just like so much more explosive. Even like when I'm not doing dunks, you know, like layups and everything like that, it's just, it's really natural, but just making it more explosive when I'm like lifting and everything like that. Right.
Building upon what's already there. Right. And that's the key. That's a major key, man, because that's I saw that. I'm like, oh, okay. Right now I understand it now. I understand it now. And I'm sure that's, because I've seen a lot of kids who have that athleticism and what they do, and this is something you do too, right? Y'all hunt steals.
For sure. Hunting steals. I led the conference actually steals.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw that. But once I saw all of I'm like, oh, okay. Now it makes sense. Because like I said, I see that all the time. Y'all be hunting the steals. Like, man, because I already know when I get the steal what I'm about to do with this. You know, somebody like me might be like, dang, get the steal. I can't get out. You know, but that's Yeah, I noticed that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a huge part of your game is that explosiveness, right? And then the shiftiness, man. The shiftiness. That is a huge part of your game.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm watching that. I'm like, so I see you come off pick and rolls and stuff like that. Let me ask you this: what do you prefer? Do you prefer the coming off a pick and roll, or do you prefer, hey, just give me space and let me try to get downhill? Like, say game on the line. Game's on the line.
Oh, game on the line, just give me space.
Just give you
Give me
space.
space.
Okay, but what about overall?
Overall, I just see I feel like, my passing is not underrated because I led the conference in assists as well.
Right.
But I do love the pick and roll just because I got so many options coming off the pick and roll. I feel like when you go on ISO, it's just like you're looking for really one thing. But mainly I'm just coming off the pick and roll, hit my big, corner guy lift up, whatever, get downhill, pull up for three, go under, over.
Yeah.
But I'd rather the pick and roll.
Yeah. See, that's spoken like a true point guard. True point guard, like you said, all the options. So what are you looking for though? Like, so when you say you're coming off the screen, right? What's your first going through your mind? Is it the guy that's setting the screen, how he's guarding it, or help side? Like, what are you actually looking at and looking for?
So coming off the screen, mainly, I'm just looking at the help.
Yeah.
On the way that I'm going. So say if I'm going to the right, I'm looking straight ahead to the corner guard, wing, whatever, see where they help, where the help is at. And then that's where it's like, okay, I can get downhill, or if he over helping, just trying to see what I can do. Right. But that's really the main thing, just looking at the help.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For sure.
That makes a lot of sense. And I'm looking at this, right? Okay, come off of this, come off another one.
Yep.
This right here, underrated part of your game.
Yep.
And I guess, like you said, it's not because you led the conference and assists as well. But I've seen you do this so many times. This right here, because they gotta help.
Right.
They got to, because if they don't, you right to the rim.
Exactly. And that's a separator though, because most guards, if you go back a little bit, as soon as I get past this and get downhill, you see most guards probably try to take a floater, take a contested
right,
layup.
Exactly.
No backside help. It's an easy drop off.
Yeah.
He's late. It's really a foul.
Yep. And another one, and now that's a whole different read. Bang. And so, like you said, when you have those options, right? Now it's all about making reads.
Right.
That's the stuff right there. My thing is this, and I think the greatest skill for a player to work on is not shooting, it's not ball handling, it's not passing, it's decision making.
Right,
IQ.
Yep.
That is the key, man, because we can work on all of these different things, but if you can't make the right decision because you can work on what to do, but if you don't work on when, you can work on how to do it, but if you don't work on when, that's when you're going to have a bunch of turnovers, you're going to be hesitant, decision making, right? And that's even in our training, right? It's what they call, it's what block training versus what they call random, and the random is the decision making.
Right.
All of the random things that happen, and block training is good too, right? Working on your form and stuff like that, getting your reps in. But if you don't work on coming off of a screen and they hedge, retreat, now let me see the floor, stuff like that, when a real game situation comes.
And you saying that, I be saying that all the time, because when I'm at school, I help people work out, or wherever I'm at, when people work out with me, I'm telling people you can work on all the moves. You know what I'm saying? You can do a series of moves, but how often are you going to specifically see that, combination of moves?
Right.
But really, work on the stuff that you always going to do every game. Come off ball screens, get down screens. If you're a shooter, work on them type of things. Work on catching and shooting off. I just feel like that's the things people should work on instead of just, because that's how you make better decisions in the game.
Right.
You can do all the moves you want to, you know what I'm saying? You can polish up your ball handling or whatever.
Right.
But realistically, it's all about, like you said, making decisions.
Yeah. And it's the split second, right? And I can tell when you're okay, if we go back to this one again, this is the perfect clip to show this. right? If we go back to here, right? This right here is not, you don't have time right now to be like, okay, this guy right here is here. I mean, the game is too fast.
Right.
Like, you're making these split-second decisions just from a sense of flow. And you can't get to a flow state unless you put in a lot of time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I can tell your work ethic just from this clip alone.
Right.
I can tell that you've worked on pick and roll and coming off of screens and the reads and stuff like that and splitting it and all of that, because you're doing it to the way that you play. Like, you can't be an overthinker and play your game.
Right.
Impossible.
It's over.
Impossible. Like, with the type of game that you have, you doing stuff so quick, it's a flow state, man. Like, and you think that comes from the work ethic?
For sure.
Yeah.
Just cause, like, I feel like, and this is the craziest thing, like, my uncle usually, like, he's my trainer growing up, but he really works on more of the fundamentals of the game.
Okay.
But, like, all the other stuff that I do all that on my own growing up. Like, just working out by myself. But my main thing, and then, I know it's gonna sound kind of crazy, I mean, watching 2K, watching basketball, like, playing 2K, watching basketball, like, I feel like that's what really made me better, just trying out them things that I'm seeing on the game, or when I'm watching a lot of film by myself. Nobody taught me how to do nothing. I feel like when people teach us, like, people how to play, certain, like, you know, trainers and everything like that, they training people to play a certain way. I just kind of take everything, you know. I watch, you know, from all the point guards to even centers, certain moves, because, like, I feel like that's an underrated part of my game is posting up, you know what I'm saying? So I watch people post up, but that's all I'm saying for real. It's just, that's the work ethic for real. I'm just like, you got to be free-minded, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to work on everything.
Do you think, this is a theory I have, do you think that sometimes trainers can create an overthinker? And here's what I mean by that. I've seen some clips, and it's trainers, coaches, or whatever, right? I think that I've been watching clips of some training stuff, man, and they'll be like, yeah, so if you watch Kyrie Irving, right, he uses, like, and I swear as trainers, and even as coaches too, I'll admit, sometimes I feel like we try to sound smarter than what's necessary. And so we'll have all these terms like, yeah, if you, the back foot step, and it's like, bro, what does that even mean? And, like, if you use the back foot step, it'll help you get, and it's like, and they'll show a clip of Kyrie Irving doing it. But the truth is, Kyrie Irving is not working on that.
Right. Exactly.
This is just him hooping and naturally figuring things out and being a decision maker and stuff like that, right? And so I didn't know what you thought. Like, I just feel like sometimes maybe we can overcomplicate the game and overteach the game, which then causes players to overthink the game.
Right.
And now you can't be in that flow state.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen players who train all the time with trainers, and, like, they make certain moves that they shouldn't have to make. Like you said, like with the split decision right there, where I split. Some people will see that, retreat out, they try to go around, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But I mean, I do feel like trainers sometimes make players overthink. Not all the time.
Not all the time. Not all the time, for sure. It's just some of the, it's like the Instagram videos I be seeing sometimes. I'm like, come on, man. One trainer, man, was showing, like, how to, like, somebody dragging a foot, and it's like, man, what? Like, come on, man. Some of this stuff is natural, man. And I think what we can do better as coaches is putting kids in positions to, when they're training, making decisions. Right. And then teaching. Like, okay, you made that decision. Show me why you did that. Like, show me how you got there. Let me show you a better way. I think that's how we actually get kids to get into a flow state, you know, when they actually play. All right, hold on now. Uh-oh. You wasn't ready for this one.
Man.
He wasn't ready for this one.
Oh,
man. He wasn't ready for this one, Rob. He didn't think I was going to have this. He didn't think I was going to have this. He didn't think I was going to have a throwback, Rob. He didn't know I was going to have a throwback, but I had to. You know why? Because this is, when I saw this, it reminded me. So what, this was 2021?
No, that's the year I was supposed to graduate.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm tripping. This was
17.
17. So how old was you in this?
I was going, maybe going to be a freshman.
Okay, okay. So the reason why I'm like, oh, I gotta pull this up. This, because when I saw this, it brought back memories. I'm like, now that's the Dre I remember, from the young days. But this right here, man. So I'm looking at this, right? Turn this down a little bit. But I'm looking at this, man. Shout out to Basketball Hustle TV.
Yep, my peoples.
That's your peoples.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm watching this, man. I'm like the young fella getting to it. Came off and snatched. I'm like, okay, hold on, right? So I'm watching young Dre, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and you can see the foundation,
Right.
like we was just talking about, and of how you can have something, but what are you going to do with what you have?
Right.
And I think this is not just for kids, this is for people in general. We can have a gift, but the question is, what are you going to do with your gift?
Right.
Are you going to build upon the foundation of the gift that you have?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's because you can tell right here, oh, this kid has a gift, right? This kid is okay, this kid a little shifty, right? See this, this was the one right here. Hey,
Right.
man, and I felt.
That's the same possession too.
Hey, shout out to this kid though, man. I ain't even talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the kid
defender.
just sitting there like, man, please don't make me fall. This kid is trying his best.
He was actually playing good defense.
He was
Speed,
though. He was
shuffle.
locked in.
Yeah.
He was locked in. But like I said, when you watch this, man, you can tell, okay, this kid has a gift. You see what I'm saying? He has a gift. So you look at this young fellow right here, man. What goes through your mind, man? Young Dre.
Young Dre, just somebody who loved the game. Raw talent,
Yeah.
but just love it. I mean, always in the gym.
Yeah.
And just, I knew I was gonna be something special though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just
Why? Why did you know that?
Just because how much I was putting into the game though. You gotta
Okay.
put into the game for the game to get back.
Mm.
And I feel like you really have to love the game.
Yeah.
You really gotta love the game to get better. Like to get it is like as good as people see on TV, the NBA players and everybody that they admire. You gotta really love the game.
Right. And do you think that's easily lost?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot of people just like the game, and like you said before, we got on camera, people just chasing, money and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like you said, right here.
Yeah.
Chase the love.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's dime.
Mm-hmm.
Dime. Okay, the kid almost messed up the whole clip. He almost messed up the whole clip. But dime. So, but see, this is the beautiful thing. Once again, those dimes, we saw that in the now Dre.
High level.
But now it's just a higher level. But once again, you build upon what you have.
Right.
And I'm telling you, man, that's the key. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur. I don't care if you're a musical artist, right? It's all about building upon what you already have. You see what I'm saying?
And I ain't gonna lie. I feel like when we was talking about the trainers and everything like that, I feel like I got as good as I got because I played a lot. When you do the one-on-one sessions, you can work on a few things or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you do a group session and then everybody get to play and work on everything that they just worked on today, like my uncle, he do things like, Basketball on TV, they do things where no dribbles, or 2-on-2, no dribbles, or one-on-one, you get one dribble, or whatever, different things like that, just playing the game,
Right.
Just making it challenging, challenging yourself.
But that's a constraint-led approach is what I found out is what it's called. I told you we love those terms as coaches to make it sound smart. But a constraint, and all that is like you said, like limiting dribbles or, putting you in a situation where you got to make decisions.
Right.
That's
all it is.
I'm telling you, the best players, man, are the best decision makers.
No, for sure.
And that's I think that is a hidden truth that a lot of kids are missing.
Yep.
It's not the skill, it's being able to apply it in an actual game situation.
For sure.
Like, man.
And you can find a decent player with a high IQ and it'll make him look way better. For sure.
Because Because we've all seen the flip side though. Somebody who's like, man, they should be good.
Right.
Like,
No IQ.
at the gym, they be, you know, like when we do the drills and stuff. But when, like you said, man, they're not a good decision maker.
No, for sure.
And that's a major key, man. Not only that, decision making is key, but here's another thing that's key. This word right here is, you hear it all the time. Coaches talk about it, right? Confidence. Because once again, if you don't have the confidence, man, you can be the most skilled and talented person in the world.
For sure.
But if you don't have belief in what you have is ineffective.
Right.
It's not activated.
Right.
And you see so many players that have something, but what they have is not activated. And that confidence is the very thing that can activate all of that skill and talent and ability and that gift that you have, right? So confidence, Dre, how do you not just stay, but where does your confidence come from? How about that?
Well, I always feel like I had confidence, right? But I feel like where people get the actual confidence of doing what they can do in the game, because I had to, you know, my times where I had to learn, and, you know, when I was at Reading, my confidence got boosted just because, like, coming from Princeton, I'm playing with all these, you know, Princeton was stacked. Right. And I just had to have people believe in me. When people didn't believe in me, that's where the confidence was low. So I feel like it's really more so like, if you could, like, people believe in themselves, but if you don't got people who believe in you as well, that's what make it hard.
That's a fact, man. I forget who I was just talking to, but we were talking about, it was not even basketball related. It was just based on like business opportunity, right? And because here's the thing, at the end of the day, somebody got to see you and believe in you. Right. At the end of the day, you can have the talent and the skill, but at the end of the day, somebody still has to give you that opportunity. Exactly. As an athlete, you can't be like, I'm going in. Right. I mean, you could, but then your career over something crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Right. But like, you can't put yourself in the game, right? You can't put yourself in the rotation, right? You can't give yourself that opportunity. I don't care what anybody say. Well, not and if you make yourself undeniable, and that's great. But still, even if you are undeniable, even if you are, somebody still has to put you in position to have that success, right? And it's the same with a business opportunity, man. You have a great business idea, but if you still need somebody to believe in that, whether it's a customer, whether it's an investor, you still need somebody to say, hey, I think that's something, right? And so that's a good point, man, that for an athlete, your confidence can go down if you feel like you're in an environment where people don't believe in you. Right.
And my confidence came from my family, you know, them telling me how good I am, especially my siblings, you know, especially my little brother, he hoop. Yeah. Just him like believing me, saying like how good I am, like, bro, like you could really do this, you know what I'm saying? We playing like one-on-one as kids and everything like that. I feel like that's kind of like my boost. Like, all right, he believed in me, so like, why not do it for my little brother, you know? Yeah. My dad, my uncles, they all believed in me as well. Had a lot of coaches that didn't believe in me though. Yeah. So when I got on the court, they like, go, like just play your game. But the coach like, nah, like as soon as I mess up, take me out or whatever, then allow me to make mistakes. That was really AAU. I feel like AAU messed up a lot of stuff.
Really?
For sure.
How so? Go a little bit deeper in that.
So when I started off playing AAU, you know, like I was young, you know, and just coming over from football, you know, raw basketball talent, just had love for the game, you know, I loved it. Yeah. But coaches, they get so caught up in winning games on the AAU circuit. Like, I feel like under 8th grade, it really shouldn't matter how much you're winning. Right. You should be trying to develop the players. So I'm sitting on the bench until the 4th quarter with 1 minute left. Yeah. We paying $600-700. Right. It ain't no point. I might as well just go to the park, play all day for free. Right. Yeah. So I feel like AAU messed up a lot of stuff when I was younger. Like, that's where me not having no confidence until I got older, knowing that my work was paying off and everything like that. Right. But AAU messed up a lot of stuff.
But you know, I'm gonna tell you what when it comes to sports, you know who ruins it for kids, man? Ooh. The adults, man. No, we ruin it. Sure. We ruin it, man. We ruin it. Like you said, we ruin it. Whether it's a coach, whether it's it could be parents, it can be. We ruin it for the kids because we get so driven, like, you know, we wanna win, and it's like, well, wait a minute. let's keep the main thing the main thing.
Right.
And the main thing is not us.
Mm-hmm.
We are supposed to be serving these kids.
Right.
It's about, like you said, man, it's about developing these kids on and off the court.
Right.
Right. And it is so easy to get caught into the whole game that's being played
Right.
with the adults. And if we're not careful, what we can start to do is start using the kids
Mm-hmm.
as pawn pieces
Right.
on our chessboard.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Where we're trying to checkmate the other coach,
Right.
the other adult, right? And it becomes a pride and an ego thing to where it's now like the kids are suffering
Right.
because we're trying to checkmate another adult.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, with the NIL stuff and stuff like that, now what has happened is you have a lot of capitalists.
Right.
People who are now just, they are capitalists in disguise of a coach,
Right.
in disguise of a trainer,
Mm-hmm.
in disguise of whatever. They're really seeing these kids as an opportunity for them to elevate.
Right.
And it's a shame, man. And I'm sure it's so hard to navigate as kids, man, as players, of who's real, who really cares, who really has your best interest at heart,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's just not easy, man. And I see it so much. A lot of these kids their growth is being stunted, like you said, because of the adults, man.
Right.
You
That
know,
makes sense, though.
parents out here fighting refs. I'm like, how is this helping the kids?
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Real.
I'm like, but I mean, refs getting knocked out. I'm like, man, I could never be a ref, man. Like, knocked out. I'm like, bro, like, it's gotten to a point where, you know, we just got to make sure. And that's, once again, goes back to chase the love. That's about keeping the main thing the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lose sight of the main thing, man.
Right.
And everything else will be added unto you, man, if you keep the main thing. But that's an interesting, because like I said, as a coach, man, as an adult, that's something that we always have to keep in mind is we're supposed to be developing these kids, man, and you can kill a kid's confidence by, we gotta win. And it's like, bro, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the day, 5 years from now, they're not gonna be like, there go bruh, who won that 7th grade game,
Right.
that coach. But nobody's gonna
Nobody
say
cares.
that, man. Nobody cares, but keeping the main thing the
It's
main
about the
thing.
experience.
Yeah. Okay, so pressure moment.
Mm-hmm.
Game on the line. You the guy, you know it's going through your hands. Pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Big game. Big moment. What is your thought process? Like, what's going through your mind? Like, and what I'm saying is, how do you get yourself to a place where you're ready for that moment? And in that moment, like, is there a process you have? Is it just I'm just always like, what's going through your mind? Game on the line, game winning shot. The ball is coming to you, and you know it. You leaving the huddle, right? And you like, this is all right. This is going. Is the win or lose from me?
Right.
What's the thought process?
Get rid of the butterflies first. Anybody who tell you they don't get butterflies is lying.
Absolutely.
You can be as ready as possible, but your hand's still gonna be sweating.
Yep.
Butterflies going through your stomach, whatever. But my main thing is, like, get to a point where I don't care about nothing. If I miss the shot or make the shot, do not care.
Yeah.
But make sure I shoot whatever shot I'm taking like a game-winning shot.
Yeah.
But it all comes from working out, you know? Train like everything is a game-winning shot, or, you know what I'm saying, game-winning move or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's really what's going through my mind. Don't care.
Yeah.
Stay polished. Don't do too much. Finish the
Right.
game.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah. That's key, man. And I'm so glad you said that, because that's 100% true. Like, people try to perp so much. I ain't never nervous. I'm like, so you're not human then. Because to have human emotion
Right.
just means you're human. It don't make you weak. It don't make
Right.
it makes you human. And being great is not, I'm not human. It's how do I overcome these human emotions and still have victory? That's greatness.
For sure.
You know, and so even Kobe said that he always got butterflies before he ran out for every game.
Right.
It's being human.
For sure.
You know, it's being human. But now it's like, how do I get myself to a place where, like you said, you're relying on your work ethic. you get to a place like, hey, make or miss, man, I'm good. Right. And I always tell people, true confidence is not walking in a room and saying, I know they'll like me. True confidence is walking in a room and saying, I'll be fine if they don't. And that relates as well to what you're saying as far as making or missing a shot. That confidence of, if confidence isn't, I know I'm gonna make it, and it can, right? But I think the peace, so not confidence, but peace of mind of saying, if I don't, okay, I missed it, I'm on to the next one. Right. But so we're still talking about the mental side, right, Dre? Right. We talked about physical stuff, right? We talked about, right. But the mental side, I notice this as coaches, especially as players, student athletes. How do you, as far as work on, not even work on, but keep yourself mentally healthy? You know, anytime you pursue something like this or anything in life with everything you have to make sure that you're taking the necessary steps for your mental health and your mental well-being, right? Because if you try to be mentally tough without being mentally well, it can lead to self-destruction. So what are, like, for example, I'll give you an example. For me, right, I think that I like to read, I like to take walks, right? I like to hang around certain people, family, friends. That brings me peace and joy. But what are some things that you do, right, that allows you to stay mentally well in the challenges of life, of your journey, right? What are some of those things?
I guess my main thing would just be talking to my dad, really. He gave me a lot of confidence, you know, telling me like what I need to do and you know, how to, like, he really like big on that, you know what I'm saying? So just talking to him and my uncle, you know, always on the phone, you know, they call me every day just to talk about hoops or just talk in general, just making sure that, you know, I'm good, especially when you at school, like, and I went to a JUCO, middle of nowhere.
Right.
So you got it, you know, mentally, like, that take a toll on a lot of people, though. And you just gotta stay focused. I mean, I really don't know, because that's really it, though. I would just talk to them.
Family.
Yeah, just my family.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a major key, man. And like, first of all, family is a major key. You know, being able to have people you can rely on, that you can lean on. You know, we're tougher together. Is something I always say. The JUCO life, though, that's not for the faint of heart. That's not for the weak-minded, right? Because going to a JUCO can be a great opportunity. But there's also where I feel like a lot of people's dreams do die, right? Because it takes a whole different mentality. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the JUCO life, the journey and the obstacles in that. Like, what are some things that people don't see? How about that? Or don't know about that type process?
You really just gotta bet on yourself, mainly. Just because when you're going into JUCO, you don't know where it could take you. You don't know how it's gonna be played. The coaches, it's a new, like, it's not like transferring to a high school or Division I players transferring to another Division I. It's like that in between right there. So it's just kind of like coaches saying different things to you and whatever like that. I mean, just being there, you have to grind. You have to get in the gym. And a lot of JUCOs, where they mess up is they don't allow 24-hour access to the gyms. But at least I was blessed at my second JUCO that I went to. To have 24-hour access. So just getting in the gym as much as possible, you know, building a great relationship with your coach. I think that's what a lot of people mess up in general too, is not having a great relationship with their coaches. The coach, these are the people who control your whole career. So, you know, they have to have connections as well. So it's just, I don't know, it's a lot that go into the JUCO life. You know, in the middle of nowhere, still trying to have your fun, but still also got to do your schoolwork. Got to get to the next level. You know, it's just, that do get stressful as well.
Do you think it's easy to get lost in the whole thing? Like, as far as, where do you think, okay, how about this? This is a better question. There's a lot of people who don't make it. All right, so you went to a JUCO, and now you're going to a D1. victory, right? That's success. That's
Right.
that's like when people do that, that's what they're looking to happen.
Right.
Then there's some people who you never hear from again though,
Right.
after going to a JUCO. Why do you think that is?
A lot of people try to. Man, that's a good question though. I mean,
Because a lot of people don't make it out, man.
a lot of people don't.
What I think of it is everybody says they love something, but there's going to come a time, and it's not going to be one, it's plenty of times throughout your journey,
Right.
where your love is going to get tested. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's, like you said, when you're in the middle of nowhere, that's when you're like, do I really love it this much? And I think that's where a lot of people end up like, man, maybe I don't. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm away from family, right? The nearest Chick-fil-A is 30 miles away. You know, it's like, dang, man, like, I don't know. And that's when you start to question. Right. And I think every journey comes with moments where you question. That's just a part of it. Right. And it's about, can you overcome this moment? Right? What is a moment for you, man? What do you think is the lowest moment in your journey where you maybe doubted the most, or maybe a rock bottom moment, or whatever, like a time when you really, really had a you versus you battle, and you had to fight against yourself, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, but what was that moment for you?
The first JUCO I was at, Lamar Community College. I was going there as a walk-on.
Okay.
And on my way up there, got a call from the assistant coach, like he was leaving. He was the one who recruited me to be a walk-on, leaving to go, to another school in Texas. So I'm like, okay, can you like get me in contact with the head coach? He was still, like, yeah, come on through. You know what I'm saying? You can still walk on. You know, do your thing here, whatever. And I'm already like, I feel like I shouldn't be no walk-on.
Right.
I put in the work. I sent great film, everything like that. So I go up there, and I'm killing, like in all the open gyms, all the workouts, everything like that. And I'm still like getting like showed no love, I'm like, dang, okay, it's cool. I'm still working, sneaking in the gym, what I'm saying, stuff that coaches like to see anyways, but I was doing it regardless. Right. So I'm like, all right, I'm in here, I'm in the gym. Everybody on the team like, hey, like you definitely gonna make the team. Like that's no doubt about it. Right. So as time going, I'm just in my dorm. He keep putting me with the walk-ons. Like, hey, yeah, go over there with the walk-ons. They working on, everything, practicing, everything like that. The jamboree list come out of the players that's all going to the jamborees. I'm not on the list. So I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? He took like 3 other walk-ons. I'm like, what am I doing wrong, Right. So that's where I'm like, man, this, like, maybe this not for me right now, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I just need to leave. Right. And that's what I did. I ended up leaving. That's why I like had my first JUCO. I went there for like 2 months. Right. Up in Colorado, went to Florida, and that's when I took that year off, just working out and everything. I was supposed to play post-grad, but that failed. We played like 3-4 games. Players stopped showing up to practice, so that's where I really had to bet on myself. Took that year off though, but like just during that whole time span of when I first went to Lamar, before I got to Barton, it was just kind of like, what's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? It was all crazy though.
So okay, so you said you went to the one place. You said 3 or 4 people showed up. What you mean?
You said for what? Oh,
yeah, like
I said we played 3 games.
Oh yeah, 3 games. My bad.
Games.
Yeah. So what happened?
So we had called my high school coach. They made a post-grad team. Right. So I'm like, okay, Elite Academy post-grad.
Got you.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back and play with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and leave here. That was like my green to go. Like, just you got somewhere to go play, go do it. So I get back to Florida. I'm there. We have like a couple practices. Everybody, showing up. Some people coming late. So I'm like, oh, that's already kind of iffy. Right. We had to pay for it because it's the first year they did it. I'm like, all right, it's cool, whatever. I'm gonna pay. Like, just make sure I get this film, get to my next spot. They made sure they let us play at least 3 games before everybody had to really pay their money now to finish the season. People stopped coming to practice. People, you know, not showing up for games.
Right.
But this is how I got the Barton though, right here. It was a game we were supposed to have.
Yeah.
Obviously they canceled the game, but I paid for the whole game. I paid for the referees. I paid for the gym. I paid for everything that needed to be paid.
Right.
One of my close friends named Brent Moss, he ended up going to Barton too as well.
Mm-hmm.
We was working out everything like that whole time. And then we were just like, bro, we need to team up, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
yeah.
we ended up playing that game. I ended up having him come, a few people come just to play against the team just so I can get this film.
Right.
I ended up dropping 50 points that game. The best film I ever had to send to Barton. They got me on a visit. Not too long after that, we made it happen. But it wasn't like Barton like contacted me or anything like that. It was just through Brent. And like he a big part of my journey. Like my whole life, look where I'm at now, you know what I'm saying? Without him, who know where I would be at.
Right.
You know so it's crazy though.
Hold on, time out. Hold on, full time out. Full time out. So you're telling me you paid for the gym, all of that
Paid
stuff.
for everything.
The reps.
Over like $400.
So you can have the film.
Mm-hmm.
And that you dropped 50 that time.
Mm-hmm.
That right
I
there.
made sure I dropped 50.
He said, hey.
And I was still passing. But I made sure I did not miss a shot.
Hey, you better than me. I swear you better than me, because if I'm telling you $400, I would be like, man, if one of y'all think about shooting,
hey.
I'm charging you $10 every shot one of y'all take. That's crazy, man. But that right there is the epitome of betting on yourself.
For sure.
Of having one chip and saying, this is the one chip I got.
That's all I got.
So I'm betting on me. And because you did that, though, you tell me that was the film that you were able to send to Barton. And that's what helped you get there.
That's what I'm getting.
You got there. And y'all won the championship.
Won the natty. It's like, and that's where so many JUCOs passed up on me. St. Petersburg, there's so many schools that passed up on me. And I'm just telling them like what I can bring to the table. And like, you know, Barton had a great team. Yeah. But I didn't even start. You know, Brent didn't start. 6th, 7th man, whatever you want to call us. But we both was like the 6th man, played the same amount of minutes. We was a big part of that team. Yeah. And I feel like I could have brought that to so many other teams as well, though, what I did. And I averaged 10 coming off the bench with a great team. So who knows what I would have did on a, you know, mediocre team. I could have went in there, dropped 20, and still probably did the same thing, you know? Yeah. But we had a great team, though. It was a great team.
Yeah, but I can't get over, because that right there, that's what it's all about. That right there is the gem that's greatness, man. That's greatness. That's greatness. Because I'm telling you, it would have been, you had a good excuse. And that's what I tell kids all the time, like, good excuses and bad excuses lead us to the same result. Your greatness is dependent on your ability to get past your good excuses, not the bad ones. It's the good ones that we can justify ourselves, like, that's a good excuse. Right. And for you, like, paying $400, like, it is a good excuse to be like, nah, I would have had to pay $400, so we couldn't do it. Right. You see what I'm saying? But you like, nah, man, I'm betting on myself.
Last chance. Last chance.
Wow.
I got it's crazy. So I know people probably can see that I got tattoos and everything like that, but one specific tattoo I got just said one chance right here. That's all I needed. One chance. That's how I live my life. Just need one shot. Man, come on, man. And you know when that's the thing. You don't know when that one chance is the chance a lot of times. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's even in basketball games, right? You've been there where the game is over, you lost the game, and you look back like, dang, that steal right there. Right. Or that, we missed the layup. That was a big moment. And you don't a lot of times realize how big a moment was until it's past. Right. Right? And a lot of times we don't realize how big, that was your one chance. Right? And like I said, man, you took that one chip
and said, last chance, I'm betting, I ain't betting on red, I ain't betting on black, I'm betting on me. Like,
sure.
I'm betting on me. And that's that small moment, man. That small moment is why you are where you are right now.
Yes, sir.
Like that was that one shining moment, that song they be playing at the end of the NCAA. That is so true, man. That one shining moment, man. And all of that stuff you went through, Dre, all of those pit stops, and we talked about all the places you've been and how some things didn't work out or this person didn't believe in you. Look at what it made you. How it, you know what I mean? Like that made you who you are.
Right.
That made you the type of person that'll say, how much does it cost? How much do the refs? I'm paying it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Had to pay it.
Wow. And we don't, and people don't want to pay $20 for stuff.
I just feel like if it's going to, better your life, it don't matter the price. Money always going to come back.
That's a bar right there. That's nothing but the truth.
Man.
But that's the price of greatness. That's the price of greatness. What are you willing to pay for? That at the end of the day, that's really what it is, right? Because whatever you want in life, like if you're willing to pay for it, it can be yours. Right? Yeah. But that's, in order to do that though, and this is what I want to ask you, is your why. Your why has to be bigger than your why not.
For sure.
Because you're going to have why nots in life. Things that can try to convince you of, this is what, it's not going to work, right? It's just not meant for you, or here's this obstacle, that obstacle. You're going to have a lot of why nots in your journey. But if your why is bigger than your why not, you can push past it.
For sure.
You can overcome, right? So what's your why, man? What's the purpose? What is the things that keeps you grounded? The thing that keeps you going? The thing that when there is an obstacle, when it's like, oh, it's either pay this $400 or it's over, right? What is that drives you, that pushes you, that anchors you?
I got a lot of whys, and the main ones, like I said earlier, was my family. Proving everybody wrong who doubted me. Proving to myself that I can accomplish my dreams and make them come true, and showing it to my younger siblings that don't give up, on what you want to accomplish just because it's hard.
Right.
I mean, and sometimes people do, need to know when to give up, when it's not there no more. But I never wanted that to be, my truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never wanted that to be my truth. So, I mean, my why really is just all that in one, proving all the coaches wrong that overlooked me. And I'm still going on this right now. Like, when I'm at Wichita coming up this year, they ain't made it to the tournament in a few years, and it's just a lot of people looking at the team like they don't know if, I can come in and, do whatever, to get us there, but I'm going to make sure that happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going on the same stuff. My family, all the people who doubted me from back when I was 5 years old. Yeah. I'm carrying that with me now. Yeah. Just everything that I've been through. I went through a lot of family stuff, but all that and just into one thing,
Yeah.
It's cool though.
But that's man, that, like I said, your journey, it's not the destination, it's the journey that molds you. Shout out to Lecrae, and that's nothing but the truth, man. It's the journey that shapes you and molds you. It's the doubters, it's the rejection. Right. Those are the things, man, that really make you who you. And because when I watch you play, I can tell, oh, this dude got a chip on his shoulder. Right. You see what I'm saying? The way that it was one clip of you guarding on the ball, and I'm like, yeah, somebody doubted this guy. For sure. Somebody doubted this guy. You don't have that type of fire unless you've been through the fire. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, you don't have that type of intensity unless you've been through some intense moments. Right. And like you said, whether it's like family stuff or, it's not even just the sport, it's life. You know what I mean? That really, when you go through some things, man, it's like, man, look, like if y'all think that this about to stop me, I should have been quit then. Right. I've been through too much to stop now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I've been through too much pain and tears and rejection and, man, to stop now. Right. So I'm sure if people are down in Wichita right now, that's probably feel like home to you.
Easily. Easy. I can't wait to get there. I slept in the gym already. I slept in there. I'm ready.
Dang.
I'm ready.
So was you just like, what you mean you slept in the gym? You just was like, you know what?
I went down there, you know, because it's only like an hour and 45 minutes away. It's an hour and 45 minutes away from Barton. So as I'm making my transition, I went down there one of the weekends, and I'm supposed to be there for 2 days, but I just got caught up in the gym so much and just so like, it's unbelievable how I even got here. I look in there, I see a lot of people don't even like, you know, cherish where they at. And I ain't just talking about Wichita, I'm just talking about like D1 in general. Yeah. Where people just like got this, you know, this ego or whatever. But me, I'm like, man, I would never take this for granted. For all the times I wish I had this. So I'm in there just constantly working out. I was working out all day. I'm just like, bro, I'm not leaving. Like, I just went in the locker room and went to sleep. Went to sleep for like 4 hours, woke up, shot in the middle of the night. Turned the lights on and everything. Like, I figured all that out that same night.
You know what that is? One word. One word that I would summarize that as: gratitude. Gratitude. And I think that, like you said, a lot of people lose that. They feel entitled to where for the opportunity. Like, man, I'm cold out here, you know. But for somebody, like I said, that's been through the fire, that's been through rejection, that had moments where he had to battle himself as far as doubt and uncertainty, right? Somebody that had to bet on himself so many times, right? I'll probably sleep in there too, doggone it. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a sense of gratitude, man. Like, all that you think about, all you've been through, man. I'm proud of you, man. I really am. Appreciate because I know that, you know, your journey has not been an easy one. And it's like, but doesn't that make it just so much like sweeter though?
For sure. For sure. Man, it make everything so much better. Cause
shout out to the bigs, you know, the 7-footers, and you know, who always have people looking at them, right? But for the smaller guys, right, who is easily overlooked, you know, I know it's got to be sweeter, man. I know it's got to be sweet. Man. I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine, man. You just looking around and being like, I'm here.
Right. This arena shit, 12,000 people, and I'm going to be playing here. I won't give them nothing short of Dre Kindell.
And that's what's going to drive you, man. Right. That gratitude, right? That's another thing you'll be able to add to your bag of, you know, things that drive you is, man, I remember times when I was like, nah, this probably, I don't know. Right. You know, I remember when, you know, all of that stuff, when these coaches didn't believe in me. And now look, I'm telling you, man, keep that. Don't lose that. Don't lose that attitude of gratitude, man. That's your secret weapon right there. For sure. You know, never let anybody tell you otherwise, man. Right, your story is your power, and that's for all of us. For sure. Right, and so just embrace it, man, like you have. Keep pushing, keep fighting, keep believing, man. I want you to keep this, man. For right, sure. I want you to have all this stuff as reminders of your journey and everything you've gone through to keep chasing the love. And on the chips, it says bet on yourself and no regrets. Right, and so and I want you to bet on yourself. Wow, and that's the thing, man. People like, oh, you know, I got time. No, you don't, right? And that's why you have a tattoo, one chance, man. Sometimes you get one chance. Are you going to bet on yourself in that one chance, right? And then I got this for you as well, man. This right here, you know, my faith is the most important thing to me. It's a verse from Romans 8:31, and it says, if God is for me, who can be against me, right? I want you to have a constant reminder that I don't care what you face, right? Like David and Goliath, right? I love talking about David and Goliath. David had so much courage because of what he already had gone through. You see what I'm saying? As a shepherd, he had to kill lions and bears. So he's like, man, I don't care about this giant. Y'all scared of this giant? Man, I kill lions and bears, man. He's nothing. Right? So this new challenge that you're about to embrace, right? It's nothing. Sure. You've already killed lions and bears. you ready for it.
Easily.
You see what I'm saying? It's easy money.
Right.
Everybody else can look at it differently, right? But nah, your courage comes from that faith of knowing like, man, I've already did all of this, man. What is this? What is this new challenge? I mean, I'm about to slay it. Because if you're a giant slayer, it don't matter what the giant's name is.
Right.
It don't matter what the obstacle is. It don't matter what the challenge is. I'm a giant slayer.
Right.
It's already done. So, and that's what I believe for you, man. From your story, from your journey, this new challenge, you already won, man.
Sure.
You already ready for this.
Sure.
You know, and I'm rooting for you, man.
Appreciate it.
And so, great things. The best is yet to come for you, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming
Yes,
on,
sir.
my guy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Man, first of all, let me say this. Your journey, you know, is so beautiful, man. Not pretty. There's a huge difference between pretty and beauty.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or cute and beauty, right? Cuteness can fade away.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Beauty only grows stronger.
Right.
And so, like, your journey, man, is such a beautiful thing because of all the stuff you went through, man. Like, that right there is going to inspire a lot of people, you paying that $400. It inspired me. I'm like, man, it inspired me. Man, look, hey, Rob, man,